Guys, and welcome to episode 39 of Notable Needlework. I am Kate, Notable Needle, N-O-T-E-A-B-L-E, on Ravelry, on Plurk, and on Twitter. The blog, if you're watching this on iTunes, is at notableneedlework.blogspot.com. There is a Ravelry group, and you should come check it out, say hi, introduce yourself. If you see me looking off camera a lot this episode, it's because the two girls are in here. If this is your first time watching, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. And if you are a first time viewer, the two girls that I'm talking about are our two cats, Yuki and Susu. I currently have the blinds closed because if I have them open, this half of my face looks fine. This half of my face is like Phantom of the Opera. Like, it's just completely washed out because of the angle of the light today. You may notice that the podcast looks a little different. I got the $7 webcam. You can see the $7 webcam, so you know I'm not using it. And it's good, and it even has these little LEDs that you can use for lighting. The camera works just fine. You have to manually adjust the focus, but that means I can actually get it to focus on my yarn and my projects. The problem is the mic isn't being recognized by the computer at all. I was messing with it yesterday, couldn't get it to work. I tried putting it on a different computer. I couldn't get it to show up at all on the PC that I was trying. I tried it on another Mac. The camera shows up, the mic doesn't. Could I get this to work? Probably. But what I did instead is I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to admit this. My camera is currently taped to the top of my computer, so it wouldn't be in the way anymore. Because that was one of the biggest things. The fact that the camera doesn't focus the way I'd like to, and the fact that... Okay. I'm going to show you, because I love you so much, what the stand for my camera was until today. It was the rolls of tape and the camera was up on top, which is why it would get knocked around very easily. Is that yours? They're both antsy because the blinds are closed. And Susu's trying to eat her sister. Anyways, now that I've rambled on about the cats and the fact that they could push the blinds to the side and look out the window. I don't know if they're going to come to that conclusion on their own, though. I really need the not the vertical, but the horizontal blind, the regular blinds in here, so that I can get the light out of my face without having... Do you want to say hi? Is that white? Okay, hold on. Come here. Come here, little one. She's the one making all the noise. Yeah. It's all your fault. Susu, say hi to Diane. I was talking to Diane from the Knittables podcast, that every time I watch her podcast, Susu is just completely and utterly in love with her. And both the girls talk to her through the screen, and they both don't understand why Diane isn't responding to their requests for love and attention. You gonna be a good girl? You gonna go check out where the camera is now? So, on the plus side, Are you scared of the yarn ball? Yeah. I have a very special cat. Very special, very simple. And I love her, but she's currently scared to death of a ball of yarn. The nice thing about the camera being taped is that they're less likely to mess with it or completely occlude the view. So they can be up here and messing with stuff without being too terribly distracting. As Seizure Tale here is demonstrating. It's a long story and I'll talk about it later. Anyways, y'all are probably here for the knitting. It was a very stressful week, to say the least, but it's done now, so I've been able to knit more. I don't have any finished objects. I've just been working on the two main orders that need to be done by specific dates. So the first one, you know how last week I said that this was the yarn that the person won in the raffle, and this is the pattern I'm gonna... That's not the pattern I wound up making. She changed her mind not that long after I recorded. She's still figuring out a way to mess with the recording. And Yuki's cowering in the corner. Anyways, she picked a new pattern. And I actually like this one a lot better than the ruffles. ¿Qué pasa, querida? Anyways, this is the Auburn ruffle scarf. Or at least that's what I'm calling it. It's the My Favorite Scarf pattern. And it's the Fiesta Baby Boom Campus Knits in the Auburn colorway. That's not a scratching post. This is the second half of the scarf. The scarf is knit in two sections. It's knit from both ends and then Kitchenered together at the top so that you get the chevron edges at both ends and that it matches. This one is probably going to be a little longer. I emailed Mary last night to ask her how long she wanted the scarf, to which she replied, "How wide is it?" And I told her that it was about 6.5 inches wide, and she never responded after that. So I figured there's still active stitches just on a piece of waste yarn, so I can always add more length if she wants. But right now it's about 30 inches. So it would be just right for someone who's about 5 feet tall, if I make it match. But I love the way that the yarn is working up for this, where it's got the thick chevrons on the two sides and then these really thin stripes in the middle. I think she's gonna like how they turn out. And they do kind of look like tiger stripes. I like them. So that's that. The other project in this bag has not gotten any love. And it's the I Heart Lace shawl that I'm doing for my mom for Christmas. At least that's what I keep telling myself. No love. No love on the faux Noro scarf for my sister-in-law, which may not wind up being for my sister-in-law. I'll see. I'm bad with scarves. I get bored doing the same thing over and over. Thank the Lord that my favorite scarf pattern is super quick. Because otherwise, Lord knows it wouldn't necessarily get done on time. The second work in progress is the socks for Christian's grandma. This is the second pair. As you can see, I've put in the yarn for the Afterthought heel. And they're coming along. all I wanted to knit on this weekend was socks, even if that meant casting on Will's pair for Christmas or a Christmas stocking. Which now they figured out that they can go through the blinds to look outside. But I love how these are turning out, and one of the yarns on my wish list was definitely the Knit Picks Felici self-striping that this is knit out of. Not necessarily this color. What I wound up doing for my mom and my relatives that talk to my mom about what I want for Christmas or whatever, is I gave her a bunch of different either yarn brands or yarn types and said, you know, you pick the color and go crazy. So I get to be surprised. I know that it's something that I'm going to use and that I'm going to enjoy working with, but I don't actually know what it is because the color is a lot of... Y'all know what I mean. Anyways, so those are the works in progress. I'm hoping to have these done soon. I'm getting in a crazy amount of knitting time this week. Pretty much when I'm home, I'm going to try working on the tree skirt. When I'm at knit group, I'm obviously going to be knitting. I can finally go back to my knit group at church for the first time since August tomorrow, and I am so excited. I love my church ladies. Not that I don't love my other knit group, but I have missed them tremendously since I haven't been able to go. And I'm finally able to go to the other knit night a lot more often, and they're starting to have the group on Tuesday nights as well as Thursdays and Saturday mornings. I don't go on Saturday mornings because, let's face it, I'm not going to get out of my bed and be ready and dressed to see other people besides my husband at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not going to happen. I would much rather spend the time with him. On Tuesday and Thursday nights, he's in class, so yeah, I'm going to go to the knit shop and work on that. So I'll be able to work on those, both the scarf and the socks, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. We'll see how much I get done. They're not going to have knit night on Thursday night because it's Thanksgiving. And of course, I actually got some spinning done. Not so much because I have a deadline, but because I kind of want to get this done so I can play with, if you see the fiber that's right there, that is some of the other yarn that I got from the New Mexico trip that I really, 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 really want to spin. I don't know where it came from, but I just really, really want to spin it. And when I say I don't know where it came from, I don't know where this desire came from. I know where the fiber came from. But I got to work on the 6-ounce merino braid. I haven't measured how much I have left, but try and grab the braid. I still have a lot to go. Because this is just the braid. This isn't including the section that I yanked off that I've been working on. But this is the 100% merino that I got in Taos, New Mexico. And it doesn't have a colorway name, and I forgot who dyed it. It's like a person, not a business, and there's only the phone number. If you look, like sometime last month, if you really want to know, if you look sometime last month in the Back from Vacation episode, I put that in the show notes. I put the phone number, and I think I put the yarn shop that I got it from. Can I help you? They were hunting gubbas in here last night because a cricket got inside, and rather than us trying to catch it, it's a lot easier to have them catch it because it turns out they're better than we are at catching gubbas. So now Susu thinks that there's gubbas everywhere, so they're digging and everything. If you can hear that little clicking noise, that's Yuki. Anyways, that is pretty much it for actual knitting. I've just been working on those 2 projects, and I decided last night that what I really, really, really needed to do with my time was to wind my leftovers into balls. I think I had already wound the Yarn for Will socks into balls, but I had leftover sock yarn, and really I'm just getting ready to bring those with me to California when we go for Christmas so that I can work on bunches and bunches of preemie caps. Which I will mention again, I am thinking about doing a drive for preemie caps that I can bring with me to my first day of clinicals. Unfortunately, I won't actually know my first day of clinicals until at least the second week in January. And at that point, my first week of clinicals will either be at the beginning of February or at the middle of March, I think. What they do next semester with clinicals is half of the semester you're doing psych rotation, half you're doing OBGYN rotation. But you don't know which one you're doing first, and you don't know where you're doing them, and you don't know who you're doing them with. And the chance of them telling us ahead of time is pretty much non-existent. Right now we're working on getting them to tell us what textbooks we need for next semester. That'll be fun. But I'm hoping to get those in, well, say the beginning of February. Just because. So when you're done with your Christmas knitting, or if you need a break from your Christmas knitting, just bang out some of the preemie caps and you can send them my way. I had said green and gold when I initially was talking about doing it. It does not have to be green and gold. If you want a suggestion for a color, you can say green and gold because that's blazer colors. But it can be whatever color you want. I don't think any of mine are actually going to be green and gold. I have lots of rainbows and multicolors that are going to be used that I was rolling up into balls last night. There goes Yuki. I'm thinking about grabbing her and having her say hi. Hold on just a second. Boo-boo, come here. Nope. No, she doesn't want to come up. What I did grab though was my last semi-knitting related stuff is I am participating in the Mommy Needs Yarn holiday swap. And it's not a two partners that give gifts to each other. It's a round robin type thing where I know who I'm sending my stuff to, but they're sending their stuff to someone else, and someone completely different is sending stuff to me. So I'm obviously not going to say who it is because I'm actually friends with the person. I'm not sure if she watches, but regardless, I'm not going to say who my partner is. But I was gathering up some stuff for her A lot of it is not in here, but I do have 2 things that I know for sure are going to go to her. It's 2 sets of stitch markers, one for kind of large needles. Do you want to focus? Focus. No. Nah. Anyways, they kind of look like little things of wood. Yeah. It's close enough. With little turquoise color-ish beads on it. And then the other one, and I love these ones. They're for, I think you can use them up to like a size 6. But they're the little mirrored cubes. They remind me of Art Deco, and they make me happy. But I know those will be going her way, and then I'm probably going to be cooking something and picking something up at my local yarn shop for her. I have a little list on the now giant bulletin board. We got a new bulletin board, and it's huge. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet or something like that, and I've just been writing everything on it. Because before we just had like the little tiny one to write things on. Now I have a whole giant whiteboard that I can use for projects that I have to get done and school stuff that is coming up. But I have a little section for things that will be going for her package. I'll be working on that. So that has to get out pretty soon. Yuki, what you doing? Do you want to say hi? Yeah? Come here, boo-boo. Yeah. There's my big girl. There's my Yuki. You smell good. Why do you smell good? For those of you who haven't seen the podcast before, the girls' names are Yuki and Susu, and Susu's the little black one, and Yuki is Japanese for snow, and Susu is Japanese for soot. Got eye boogers. Okay, go play with your sister. Quit making so much noise. I love them tremendously. I haven't been letting them in the office very much. Well, I pretty much never let them in unsupervised because I don't have all my stuff in here organized, and they like to mess with the yarn. And the biggest concern right now is because the tree skirt isn't done, there's lots of sequins out, and for whatever reason they've decided that they're delicious, and so they ate a couple. They're fine, no intestinal blockages, but they haven't been allowed in here really since without me watching them. But they're being fine right now, and they're not really interested in the yarn, so I don't care. Nursing school. This week was crazy. We had a lot of it was just preparing for the physical assessment validations that we had on Thursday. We had a poster session for the research project on Monday, which was not bad at all. And then our last day of clinical was on Wednesday, and Thursday was PA validations, which definitely went well. I know that I passed. I don't know what my grade is yet. I'm thinking that they might post them today. One of my friends already has hers up. Because instead of saying like 20 out of 20, it now says like 120 out of 20. Or 120 out of 120. Mine's still at 20 out of 20, so I'm waiting impatiently for that. I have two special girls. Hey, Yuki. But after that was over with, I had one class between me and Thanksgiving break, and that was this morning. So I am on Thanksgiving break now, which is crazy. But I need to get my butt into gear and work on the tree skirt. Everything else I can probably finish if I just put my mind to it. Like, I could probably bang it out in like a day. The tree skirt needs to get done ASAP. Because it has to be done by the night of the 13th. Preferably before that, because otherwise I would have to be packing on the night of the 13th. And let's face it, that's not going to happen with me. So, in a perfect world, I could get it done this weekend. Or this week/this weekend. Not sure if that's going to happen, but that's going to be what I'm doing most of the time that I'm home, with breaks for doing house cleaning and obviously cooking on Thanksgiving. I am looking forward to Thanksgiving. It's just going to be me and my husband, and so we cook enough food for like 10 people and have leftovers between now and when we go home for Christmas. So, other than going to the store for milk, we pretty much don't have to do any shopping between now and when we get back, which is awesome. I'll play with you in a sec, hon. Susu's bored. That noise is her rolling around on one of the plastic boxes. That's her collar just like rolling around on it. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. We always get invitations from our friends to have Thanksgiving with their families, but I like not having to dress up, to just cook in sweatpants or something like that and not have to worry about the fact that I get whenever I do anything with flour, it gets everywhere on me. Not on the floor, not on the, just me. Just all over my clothes. I get flour everywhere. So with gravy and bread and I think there's flour in the green bean casserole because I think the sauce is thickened with the roux, but I'm not sure. Anyways, flour gets everywhere, and not having to worry about other people seeing that, because Will does not care. Not having to worry about other people seeing that is nice. So, yeah, it's just going to be the two of us, and I am happy. We will probably be getting calls from my mom on the day of. What she usually does is she'll have us on speakerphone in the dining room with my brothers and their families and my mom and her boyfriend and the grandparents and everyone who's there. And they'll have us on speakerphone and we can say Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and it's sweet. I'm looking forward to being back in California and being able to do that because my family does not care if I have flour all over me. I care what other people's families think. My family could not care less. So, yeah. I have one more class for the rest of the semester. It's just, I have an exam next Monday. I have one of my finals next Monday. And then I have, last day of class, final simulation, final conferences with my clinical instructor, and then it's exam, 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 go home to California. So next week is the last week of classes. And I have one of my finals. Which is insane. Completely and utterly insane. Our clinical group is planning on going bowling next week. Or the week after. I'm super excited because, yeah, they're having dollar bowling. So that should... Simple cat. Simple, simple cat. Susu, what you doing? As you may be able to tell, they're very distracting. I'm just making sure that they're not chewing on yarn. All the good stuff is out of their reach. But still, if it's acrylic, they're going to chew through it and then they're going to eat it, and that's just never fun. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Our weather needs to look at the calendar. It's like a high of 75 today, and it's November 21st. It's not like it's California, it's Alabama. Weather needs to get with the program. Like, it was not this warm last year. It's because of all the rain. It gets super warm when it rains, and then it's freezing the day after. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, and then it'll be cold on Wednesday, and I will be looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to going to 2 different knit groups when it's raining, when it's warm and raining, but whatever. The ladies are worth it. So until next time, I hope that y'all have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and Yuki and Susu say hi to everyone, and they do love you all. They just don't know it. Bye, guys.